Hello everyone, my name is Masterstarman, and welcome to a new Let's Play. That's right, we are officially returning to the world of Pikmin! Playing now the second game released in the series, Pikmin 2. This was a game originally released for the GameCube in 2004, and kind of became a game that was a bit, not infamous necessarily, but kind of this weird mythical status for me in the early days of being a Let's Player, for reasons I'll kind of get into in a little bit here. But North American releases of this game have been a little bit scarce, but thankfully, nowadays, it's really not, because we live in an era where, starting in 2023, there was an HD remaster of this and the first Pikmin game. And yeah, we are playing that version in particular. So, with all due respect, let's get going here, shall we? Hocotate Freight is a long-haul, deep space shipping company. One day, its only employee of any merit, Captain Olimar, crashed on an uncharted planet while on an interstellar vacation. There, he was aided by indigenous creatures, which he called Pikmin. In the end, Captain Olimar escaped. But in Olimar's absence, his employer, Hocotate Freight, ran into financial difficulties. Just a cute little way of summing up the events of the first Pikmin game to those who may or may not have played it. Captain Olimar. Planet Hocotate. Hocotate Freight. President of Hocotate Freight and local employee Louis. Olimar, I'm so glad you're safe. Yes, very glad, quite glad, but sadly I have an announcement that's not so glad. Our company is going under. Yes, we're finished. On his first mission, Louis here met a ravenous space bunny, and his entire load of golden Pick brand carrots was eaten. I took out an enormous loan to repay the debt from this loss. I decided to sell off corporate assets to repay the loan. Not our dolphin, but it was the only asset we had to sell your ship, the SS Dolphin. As for the rest of our loan, we have no means to repay it. Olimar, what is that? Brought back that souvenir for your kid? Treasure, 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 money, money, money. Initiating valuation recovered with the treasure this artifact is worth 100 Pocos. This thing's worth 100 Pocos? That's more than a year's salary! What? There are more on that planet? They can repay our debt! Louis, you don't look alive! You must depart immediately with Captain Olimar! Thus our journey brings us back to that original unknown planet. Oh no! We lost Louie. That was close. I've averted a crash landing. Running diagnostics. Alert! Danger! Louis is missing. He must have somehow fallen out of his cockpit. He is not responding via his communicator. He is either floating protocol or in danger. Olimar, you must find Louis before he can freezes to death in this cold of this planet. Wait a moment, look. Could these be Pikmin? They look like they're about to be devoured as we speak. Help them. Use the left stick to put the cursor near the Pikmin and press B to call them with your whistle. You can also hold B to make the sound of the whistle carry them further, remember? Let's whistle these guys before they get in any more trouble there. I could be wrong. I don't know if they can actually die to that first enemy or not. But yeah, the Pikmin ran to your side. They seem to remember you. Captain Olimar. How fascinating. Give them instructions and not delay. Yeah, you can hold down the A button to kind of speed through the dialogue here, thankfully, because there's a lot of dialogue in this beginning part of the game. Hold A to grab Pikmin and release it to throw. So yeah, I am playing this on the... I'm actually playing this on the Switch too, even though this is a Switch 1 game, but yeah, I'm using the Pro Controller for this, which is very different than how I first played these games, and it took me a little bit to kind of get used to this control style, but I got a hand of it pretty quickly. Attention, Olimar, I have just reestablished my communication link with Louis. It's fortunate we have managed to confirm his safety. Press Y to communicate with him. I'm quite interested in the details of his condition. Before we do that, though, we can throw some Pikmin on this here. The different enemies will require different amounts here. Oh, actually, we can't really do anything with that yet. Never mind. Yeah, so kind of just getting a very basic gist of the controls. I think if we press... not plus, even though that... Plus is very helpful because it brings up a map that we can use to kind of look around here. It'll show a couple of details, like how many Pikmin we have on the field and whatnot. If we press minus, though, yes, there is in fact a controls layout here, so... could be useful to kind of get used to this, and if we press plus on this screen here, we can toggle motion controls on and off. I'll be switching between this periodically here. It's just a toggle you can trigger on just one screen here, so very, very useful, though. Very, very useful. Basically, how it works is normally you will have just standard button controls, but if you're holding down a Pikmin or using your whistle or something, you can aim this with the motion controls. I first played Pikmin on the Wii, so at first I was very, very, not sure if I'd ever be able to play with the button controls, because even Pikmin 3, when that came out, that was a Wii U game that could use Wii Remote support, so I played 1, 2, and 3 on the Wii with those controls, basically. Anyways, the thing wanted us to switch to Louis, so let's do that. We just press the Y button here. Louis, allow me to assess your condition. As per our safety protocols, are you all injured? Is that so? Then my concerns are at ease. Our communication link shows that you are nearby. Can you make your way to our location and rejoin us? I will navigate for you. Press plus to contact me and obtain information about the terrain. Alright, let us do that. But first... Louis, that odd object before you appears to be one of the onions mentioned in Olimar's reports. This was a thing from Pikmin 1 here. It's kind of the Pikmin mothership here. The seed the onion injected just sprouted. According to Olimar's report, it can be plucked with A. Yep, very simple here. You can just pluck it like that. And we have our introduction of Red Pikmin here. Louis, this must be one of the Pikmin creatures from Olimar's report. It's staring at you. Press A to throw a Pikmin where you want it to take action. A squad of them can do a lot. You can disband a squad of Pikmin that's following you by pressing X. Interesting. Olimar's description of creatures resembling Pick carrots was strikingly accurate. Louis, my sensors have detected drool in the corner of your mouth. Are you alright? I love this cutscene. It's really cute and funny. I don't know why that just cracks me up every time I see it, and I don't care about taking a screenshot of that one there. So yeah, these here are called pellet posies here, I believe. You can defeat them in one of two ways here. You can either, well, I guess technically three. If you attack the stems here, which you can just do by pressing the A button here, when you're just the captain by himself. Now, this is kind of just going to go over a different tutorial here than what I was about to say, but sure, we'll roll with that. Onion ejected more seeds. The pellet from that flower must hold nutrients that breeds Pikmin. Yes, Pikmin gather nutrients, haul them to the onion, and further propagate the species. The onion is a Pikmin mothership. I just said that already. It seems holding A lets one rapidly pluck Pikmin. Holding A? I don't remember that, actually, unless there was a change to this version here. So yeah, you can kind of do one of two things with the sprouts here. If you attack the base of it, it'll take a few hits, but if you were to throw a Pikmin directly on the pellet there, you would destroy it instantly. I don't remember being able to just hold the button here. I'll try it here, but I was always one to just kind of mash the button there. But yeah. Oh, huh. I always just mash the button there. I think that might just be a leftover thing from Pikmin 1 at least, with how I handled that, but yeah, I will say this generally, I think that Pikmin AI is, I'm gonna say it, smarter than it was in the first game, and I know some people might subject to that. I don't know if there's actual documented evidence for that or not, but I always kind of thought of Pikmin as being, like, having better AI in this game, basically. Anyways, a couple of other things I can briefly mention. If you press the right trigger, you can zoom in and out the camera here. Again, that's me playing the Switch version of this with the Pro Controller setup. I guess the Switch version would have the same control scheme regardless there with the other controllers, but nothing here, actually, strangely. Interesting. I guess this was where Louis first kind of crash-landed there. You can also use the right stick to, if you press it up and down, you can change to an over-top style here. If you're ever familiar with other real-time strategy games, maybe you played StarCraft or something, this camera setup might look a little more familiar, and it can be useful to kind of get used to that. Up ahead here, we got a electric super battery power. Perhaps this object is one of the treasures we're searching for. The only reason we found it here is because this is where you crash landed. How fortunate. I'd like to praise it, but you must regroup with Olimar first. Can you see him? Press the L to move the camera behind you. Oh, it's kind of going over that. Also press the R to zoom in and out, or up and down. Oh, kind of just going over the exact same thing that I said there. Yeah, and you can rotate the camera around here. Oh, and yeah, you can press ZL to center it behind you there. Kind of, I always think of, like, Zelda with how the lock-on system worked with its camera there. This battery here, probably, like, not the most infamous change in the HD version, but I'm sure a lot of people probably know this. This used to be a Duracell battery in the original North American releases and maybe the PAL ones, there's a lot of product placement in at least the North American version of Pikmin 2, and I feel like that's part of why it took so long to get certain remasters of this game, because I'll probably go into this a little bit later on, but it took a really, really long time for North America to get the Wii port of Pikmin 2, like, a stupidly long time. And I'm gonna guess the product placement was a part of that. Anyways, these guys are all reunited here, and the ship's gonna try and tell us even more stuff here. Captain Olimar, Louis, reunited at last. This has been a troublesome start to our trip, but now you must feel assured that your combined wits can get you through anything, correct? Now on use B to take form a single group, press X to take a soul selection, press Y to change to leader. Only thing that's really kind of hinting at there is the X button being able to disband, which is a very useful thing to kind of do. You'll be wanting to switch between your characters a lot. I didn't really mention this whole, like, paper bag thing. You just kind of have to weigh down the Pikmin on that. I think this one, yeah, I think this requires 35. I don't know if we can even actually get that on this first day or not. But, yeah, so this Duracell battery was a thing in the original game, and I know it was in the Wii version as well. So, that was changed in this version. All traces of product placement were changed. I don't remember if they were changed in, like, PAL or Japanese. I recall reading somewhere that the product placement was taken out of one of the versions, so yeah, I'll probably put on screen in editing which version got the short end of the stick, but yeah, I'm gonna say it, I'm not playing the Duracell cut of this game, but the Switch 2 version is also still really great because this is the only HD version of this game, so I don't mind, and there's other really nice quality of life things in this version as well, so I actually don't mind the lack of product placement. Like, it's a minor thing. I like the Duracell thing, but I can live without it for the prettier version, so yeah. And plus, it's easier for me just to record the game on the Switch 2 rather than, like, having to bust my Wii out and finagle with motion controls the entire time. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I just like to play games with convenience sometimes. Anyways, this thing is kind of buried in the ground here. You can set your Pikmin to dig it up here. And yeah. Yep, this thing does straight up require 20 here. I think there's only 20 Pikmin you can get on this first day, meaning that the other bag here, I don't think we can go through here. This day really is just kind of meant to be a tutorial day. There's not too much else to Valley Repose. This place is really, really big, as you can see here, but we're not going to be able to explore a lot of this area for a long time, so yeah. And I'm just going to say it straight up in this first video here. I'm not doing a day per video for reasons that are pretty apparent to anybody who's played this game. This is going to be pretty much segmented by if I feel this is going to be a good enough segment to length to finish it and whatnot, so yeah, we'll just kind of play it by ear for the later days. This first day, though, is a pretty short tutorial day otherwise, though, so yeah. Pretty sure it'll end once we get this not Duracell back here. Name, Courage Reactor. You can also rotate these around here. You can have another shot to look at these later on here, as if you so desire that. Our first day of the exploration has yielded our first treasure. It will be done in record time. You wish. You wish. I took the liberty of naming it when I appraised it. Name reflects my current thinking. Leave it to me to think up catchy names for hit products, but it's one of my many talents. We shall end our first day here and report back with our president. His face will surely be joyous. However, to communicate with Hocotate, we must fly in low orbit above the planet. We'll not return to the surface until morning, so to avoid the indigenous nocturnal creatures. Shall get used to our end of day ceremonies here. And there's just one lonely little dwarf bulborb there. Today's report. We just got the one courage reactor there. We have 280 out of 10,000. And we sprouted 20 reds. Very nice. You can press ZL on this screen to see if anything has died in battle here. A lot of elements and things in this game, though. Thankfully, nothing died here. I don't think it's possible to die to the bulborb in this level or not. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So, you found you found your first bit of treasure. Fine work. Our future depends on your efforts, so check your treasure hoard regularly. I'll keep it often. Keep up the pace. And we can save here. And going here, this is the map screen here. This will be what you load up to whenever you select your file here. A couple of just quick things I want to mention here. The treasures here. May notice that you can kind of go in here. We can get a look at this here, and we can also view Olimar's journal on this here. Recovered our first treasure. Amazingly, the Pikmin have remembered how to salvage it. I can't understand their adorable language. I don't think I know what they're saying, yet I'm so happy to see them. When I crashed on this planet, the Pikmin helped me locate my missing ship parts. In my darkest hour, the Pikmin were there for me. Now that I'm reunited with them, I know everything will be alright. It will, right? Yeah, there's a lot of treasures in this game. We can also look through at our Piclopedia, which is enemies here. Olimar and Louis both have notes of all these creatures here. We had the dwarf red bulborb here. We can also throw carrots at these guys here, which shows pretty much how their behavior is here. Gives you an idea of how these guys interact, basically. And we also have the pellet poses here. I'm not going to go into this every single time, but it is something that's pretty fascinating to go through here. Yeah, not really too much else to kind of go over there otherwise. Louis' notes here. For a blissful bisque, mince the entire beast finely and stir with heavy cream. Artichoke hearts and a pinch of black pepper. Heat slowly until piping hot. Rich and creamy. And Olimar's notes. Pansaurus pseudoculrussus breadbug family. Although initially identified as a juvenile red bulborb, groundbreaking new resources indicate this creature is a member of the breadbug family, a close relative of the vanilla breadbug. It escapes predation through mimicry. Unique adaptation of the red bulborb's crimson color allows the species to safely commingle. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation by prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. A lot of stuff kind of went in there that I wasn't really expecting to say there, but yeah. With all that being said, though, I think we are going to call this first video here. Next time, we are going to go back to Valley of Repose and, well, continue exploring it now that we have kind of our objective here. If you like this episode of Pikmin 2, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment. Really appreciate it. I've been Masterstarman, and I will see you guys next time. Have yourselves a great day, and peace out.